Hello, students. In the present video session, I would like to introduce the essay Trumpet Club to you. That means I want to give an introduction to the Trumpet Club. You see that? Trumpet Club, the title of the essay, which is written by Richard Steele. Trumpet is an instrument. It is a musical instrument. Club, it is an association where the people of the like mind gathering. It may be registered or non-registered. The place where a peer gathering. Here the Richard Steele associated the trumpet and the club. How a musical instrument is related to the club. Trumpet is the musical instrument. That is what you might have heard in the poem, a song for Saint Cecilia's Day, where you see the different kinds of musical instrument that was introduced by Dryden. You might have heard the term there. It was a musical instrument in white. Here, Richard Steele, he associated the trumpet, the word with the club by special reference to that is a Restoration Society. Let us say its meaning then later. That is what the Richard himself is going to deal with. An introduction to the essay Trumpet Club by Richard Steele. It is the topic of the session today. It indicates growing popularities of the club life in the early years of the 18th century. When it is restored. What is restored? What is lost in the Puritan age that was restored during Charles II. And they got more liberty, they got so free enough, and they wanted to establish many the clubs and associations. What they want to lead a kind of a free life. Likewise, in the early 18th century, during the Charles II reign, many clubs were established. It was just a growing moment of the year that was representing through the trumpet club. The word trumpet is probably used in connection with the idiom to blow one's trumpet. I told you already that trumpet is an instrument. It is going to blow in order to, that is, inspire the people and motivate the people. A sound that comes out to motivate the people. It is a music. Therefore, he is saying that the word trumpet is probably used in connection with the idiom to blow one's trumpet. Here, trumpet in the context of the present essay is the man of the 18th century, and he is blowing himself. That is, he is boasting himself. He is telling what is not. That means he is showing. This is the sense that we get here. The meaning is to boast himself. Trumpet club. Here the people, that is Richard Steele is going to interpret the trumpet club in terms of the boasting. Trumpet club is the place where the aged people are gathering together, particularly in the evening, to pass the time. They have worked hard the whole day, and evening they used to get relaxed by gathering in a particular place, and they are sharing their experiences and views, likes and dislikes. The old people, they used to do this. And they used to, that is, posting themselves and telling their experiences repeatedly every day in their, that is, in the club. They are doing this. Here, Richard Steele is going to hold the mirror to the club, how and where, what kind of people are gathering there and how they are behaving, what they are going to say and share. These things are reflected in the trumpet club. It is a satirical essay where the writer speaks of how the narrator chose to relax, retiring the night. The narrator himself is one of the club member, and is retiring the night means that is it is the last, that is a phase of spending time in the evening. That is probably the 5 to 10 or 6 to 10, where they used to spend the time and come back and they get sleep. And this is a regular routine, that is habitual work that they were doing and spending the time in the trumpet club. And now that, what is the nature of the club in the 18th century England? Here, Steele has taken one club to represent a few people and their behavior. And it is a reflection of the 18th century England club. And here, what is the common nature, the general nature of the clubs, formalities of the clubs, the people they are following the club. After hard day's work, they used to work hard during the day. The narrator made it his custom to spend the evening in the company of men where he did not have to exercise his mind much. Their talk lulled him to sleep. He used to go to the club to spend the time and share something. But nobody was equivalent to his intellectual mind to share his view, that his ideas and thoughts with those people. Just he was observing the people, how they are behaving and their manners he was observing. And that itself is enough for him to get into sleep. It is what the narrator himself was doing as a club member of the trumpet. The number of members had come down from original 15 to 5. Actually, in the club, generally there were 15. And slowly and gradually, the number has come to 5. Many left the club membership and they did not come. But in the trumpet club, we see the 5, 2 members are regularly visiting the trumpet club. And where he was considered the most learned narrator, then he gives a pen to sketch the numbers. Being a writer, he went there and he was a learned fellow, and he used to observe the things that are happening in the club, and the nature of the club. He began to make a note of it, and he wanted to that is that is write it either in the essays or something somewhere else. It is a common nature of any writer. He is a creative writer. He wanted to that is do some task on this. The oldest name. Now I am going to introduce all the five members of the club. Just give a gist of them. Number one, the oldest name, Sir Geoffrey Notch. Keep remember, his name, Sir Geoffrey Notch, is one of the Trumpet Club member of the five, who lost all his wealth in gambling and wounds and horses and gambling cocks. And he was such a rich man, he lost everything. He was an habit of gambling on hounds and horses and gambling cocks. By this habit, he lost everything. And where every day he used to visit, and here he is going to explain how he had lost all his wealth by his that is that is a bad habit he was sharing every day. It is a routine that is talk of him. And the second important that is another the member of the trumpet club was the major match clock. Keep remember his name once again. I am going to repeat the major match clock is second important. The club member. Let us say his nature and what was going to do. So he had participated in all the civil wars and his talk board on the same. See that he was a soldier and he was a member of the army and he participated all the civil wars being a soldier. And every night in the club he used to that is update and I used to speak continuously on his experiences in the war field. The same routine top and the same dialogue, same that is language he was using. It was boring to listen always. It was his nature to that is speaking about his that is a struggle in the civil war and how he got retired and how he served the country. This is what he was telling and about something like that. And his greatest heroic deed was when he was in London circus, pushed him off his horse during his demonstration. And he was always used to quote his heroic deed once he was participating in the London. And with the demonstration, he was going to present it. It was a kind of demonstration that he was doing. It is quite that is interesting to look at it. And third important member, other that is a member of the club is Dick Reptile. Dick Reptile is third important. That is a club member of the Trumpet Club. He speaks little, laughs at all the jokes. He is very peculiar character and very typical character, and he speaks very less. He listens a lot, and by listening, he is going to react by laughing at all the jokes. Whether joke is interesting or not, for any talk, his reaction is to laugh. The fellow is laughing for all the actions, all the speaks, all the development that are happening in the club. This is one of the typical character that is noticed and observed by that is Richard Steele. And he would bring with his nephew to the club. He was not only coming all alone, he was coming with his nephew, who would sit silent and be aware if he passed a comment and laugh at the jokes. He would be told by his uncle, "You young men fool us, but to be old men who you are." And as he brought his nephew to the club, in the sometimes in the meanwhile, in the club, he used to advise his nephew about the two generations, how the youngsters are behaving, and what are the people of the old people, and the difference between old and new people, how young people try to fool the old people. But old people are they are not, they can't be fooled by you. And this is what is talking about the foolish nature of the young people sometimes. This is what Dick Reptil was doing every day in the club. The next member is not referred to by name, is only a claim to fame was that he knew the notorious, that is Jock Ogle would tell stories of his adventures. Another fourth member of the club was Jack Ogle. Jack Ogle, he was always narrating the story of his adventures. Whatever he did in the life, that is adventurous life, is glorifying and is prizing. And he's narrating very interestingly, very imaginatively, artistically to the people. Every day he's narrating his stories of adventures, his character. And last, that is the member, let us see that. The fifth member was narrator himself, who was regarded as a man of letters. We know that Richard Steele, he was a man of letters, that he was a writer and a scholar. And he was also one of the club member. He was referred to by the members of the scholar and the philosopher. And every club member, they used to call him as a scholar and the philosopher. It was his name for there. The member met every evening at 6 p.m. and dispersed at 10 p.m. It was the times of the people and the times of the Trumpet Club. It begins at 6 p.m. and it ends with 10 p.m. And during 4 hours, they used to talk and narrating the story and boasting stories of adventures and observations of the club people. These things are happening and laughing at all the events and the speech. These things that were happening for the 4 hours continuously. The conversation was the same as it was for the past few years. The same conversation, same stories, same persons are gathering, and nobody could get bored by this. They are doing and they're killing the time like this. This is what Justin is going to that is expose the common routine nature and habit of the people, those who are meeting in the Trumpet Club. On his way home, the narrator would reflect with himself the talkative nature of the old men who would spin the same yarn. This made him also think that when the young man began to talk over a particular incident, over the period of time, the story would get elongated so long as to compete with contemporary tales. Right. This is the 5 members are the club permanent members, including the ancestor Justin. Their nature and behavior, the manners, it was briefly explained in the session. Let us see the outcome of Trumpet Club. One way to avoid getting into this pitfall, according to the narrator, is to store up knowledge and observation in our youth and use and recall it in our declining years. This can make a man in his old age a man of wisdom comparable to that of Nestor. This is what the outcome of the Trumpet Club. Though the Trumpet Club is a place where the people are gathering and spending the time, and it was observed by the writer, still it has a message that how the young people are spending the time and old people are spending the time in the 18th century in the society that was well brought out in this. That is a essay, that is a Trumpet Club. Thank you for listening. Just the that is the trumpet club. As an introduction, I have given this. Let us meet in the next session to conclude this trumpet club. Thank you for listening this session. Thank you.